Very good morning to one and all. Myself, Julie Yadav, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department. So today's topic is OSI model. Firstly, I want to make you understand what is computer network. Computer network is basically a network through which multiple computers are connected or multiple devices that have the capability of sharing the information, sharing the resources, can interact with each other is known as the computer network. So basically, why there is a need of computer network? The computer networks are needed because, as we know, the systems have different hardware and different software configuration. So different hardware and different software configuration systems can communicate over the same network. So there is a need of computer networking. So in computer networks, the most important topic is OSI model. So let's have a look. What is OSI model? OSI model is basically, we can say that these OSI is a set of rules that define how two devices or the multiple devices can communicate over the network using the same protocol. So basically these are the rules which every device that is connected through a network needs to follow. So this was the basic reference model that was used and proposed by the open system interconnection model. This was designed as it has 7 layers that has its specific role. Every layer is responsible for its specific role or for its specific functions and responsibility. Without performing the responsibility or functions of the individual layer, the next layer won't be able to perform the operations that layer needs to be performed. So basically, open OSI model, full form is open system interconnection. It is basically the reference model that is the abstract description for layer communication and computer network protocol design. Means these OSI model is basically the rules, or we can say the protocol, that every device needs to follow or every device needs to align himself or itself in a network. So it was developed as the open system interconnection model. It is the most basic form in which the network architecture is divided into 7 layers from top to the bottom. And those 7 layers, starting from the top, the first layer is the application layer, then presentation layer, then session layer, then transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and at last there is the physical layer. Basically, these layers are different at sender side and at the receiver side. How they are different? If we are talking about sender, then for sender, the first layer is application layer, and then presentation, then session layer, then transport layer, then network layer, then data link layer, and at last the physical layer. But if we are talking about at the end of receiver, that is connected or that is directly connected with the sender through the physical medium, that is the at the end of the receiver, the layers are same. But if we are talking about top to bottom, then at sender side, the top layer or the first most layer is the application layer, because the sender needs to interact with the apps. As we know, the application layer deals with, basically it provides the interface to the user or the sender or the receiver. So this is the first layer. But if we are talking about at the end of receiver, then at the end of receiver, the first layer is the physical layer. Why it is so? Because when the data is transmitting from the sender side to the receiver, the first layer that accepts the data is the physical layer. Then it transmits the data to the data link layer, then to the network layer, then to the transport layer, then session layer, presentation layer, and at the last layer, that is the application layer at the end of the receiver. So this is the sequence of all these 7 layers of the OSI model. Here you can see the application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical layer. This is the way how which the data is transmitting at the end of sender. Means first the data is transmitted to the application layer, then presentation and so on. But if we are talking about at the end of receiver and the data first receives at the physical layer, we can say that at the end of receiver, the physical layer is the first layer, then the data is transmitted into the upper layer after performing the functions of the layer that is below the upper layer. So, if we are talking about application layer, presentation layer, session layer, these are the layers that deals with the software. Application layer, presentation layers and session layer, these layers deals with the software. And if we are talking about network layer, data link layer and physical layers, these layer deals with the hardware. And the transport layer, we call this layer as the heart of OSI model. Heart of OSI model because it behaves or it is a medium through which the software layers as well as the hardware layers can interact with each other. As you can see here, these are the topmost layers. Topmost layer deals with the applications, right? And at the end of receiver or at the fourth layer, that is the transport layer, the data that is transmitting is process to process. What is process? I will explain it to you later. Then from the transport layer, the data is start transmitting. And then at the network layer, various network layer functions like logical addressing, routing, all those functions are performed at the network layer. That is why this layer is also known as host to host layer. Host to host. This layer is known as host to host, and the data link layer is known as hope to hope, or we can also say it node to node delivery, because it deals how the data is transmitting from sender side to the receiver. Means the number of intermediate devices that comes between the transmission or that comes during the transmission that has happened between the sender and the receiver. So this layer deals with the nodes or the next hop. Like from sender side, the data is transmitting to the receiver, but before the receiver receives the data, there are multiple devices that receives the data, and then after performing their function, they gets forward. So this layer, the network layer, deals with the next hop, means the next device that receives the data. Like here you can see the source and the data, and the device A receives it. This is the next hop, means it contains the data link layer adds the detail or the address of the next hop. That is why this layer is known as the hop to hop delivery or node to node delivery. And the last layer, that is the physical layer, that deals with the physical network, right? Like what are the devices that connect the two different devices, like that connect sender and the receiver. What is the transmission medium we are using? All the things we are going to study in the physical layer. Now, here we can also say that at every layer, when the sender sends the data to the application layer, what does it perform? It adds its header. Like the data is transmitting to the application layer, then after performing its function, the application layer adds a header along with the data, and then it sends this as a data to the next layer, that is the presentation layer. Presentation layer does the same thing. It adds its header and it consider header of application layer plus the data as the data and sends this to the next layer. The next layer, the session layer, adds its header and sends to the along with the data and then send it to the next layer. The next layer, the transport layer, receives the data that was sent by the session layer, and it also adds its header like HT, header of transport layer along with the data. Then after performing its function, it sends it to the network layer. Network layer also adds the header along with the data. Then it sends to the data link layer. Data link layer adds two things. The first one is the header, another one is the trailer. In header, if we are talking about, the data link layer adds the header as well as the trailer. Then in header portion, it adds the address of the hop, means the address of the sender's hop or the address and the address of the next hop by which the data is transmitting, or that acts as a mediator between the sender and the receiver. And in the trailer, it is the only layer that deals with basically the error, how the error needs to be controlled, and how, if the error arises during the transmission, how the receiver deals with that error. So the information about the error is added in the trailer portion, right? After performing its function, the data link layer sends it to the next layer, that is the physical layer, where the data is present or is transmitted over the channel. One more thing that I want to tell, at the end of at every layer, the data is converted into different form. Like if we are talking about application layer, at application layer, the data is like the data only, right? When it sends to the presentation layer perform its functions, perform its responsibilities, add its header, as well as at here, means at the presentation layer, the data is itself the data only. Then it sends to the session layer. The data is the information or the data that needs to be shared is in the form of data. But when it sends to the transport layer, above three layers deal with data. And when this data needs to be sent to the transport layer, if this is the data, at the end of transport layer, it divides the data into number of segments. Like if this is the data, it divides the data into 4 segments, right? After dividing or after converting the data into segments, it sends it to the next layer, that is the network layer. At the end of network layer, what basically the network layer perform, network layer takes each segment and adds it header, or we can say that at the end of network layer, it adds the logical address. Logical address means it forms a it creates a packet. Like if we are talking about network layer, at the end of network layer, the data or the segments of the transport layer are now converted into packets. For example, if we are having a bunch of 100 papers, right, and we use an envelope to cover those 100 papers, and at the envelope we add to and from, means the sender's address as well as the receiver's address. So at the end of network layer, that is why the data is in the form of packets, means converting the segments into packet by adding its to and from, means by adding the address of sender and the receiver, they convert, or the network layer converts the segments into a packet. After including its header, the network layer sends it to the data link layer. Data link layer converts those packets into number of frames, right? It converts the packets into frames. That is why we are saying that the data at the data link layer are in the form of frame. And then after performing its functions and responsibilities, the data link layer sends the data to the next layer, that is the physical layer. At the physical layer, the data is converted into bits. Why? Because we know whenever the data, or when we are using a communication medium or a channel to transmit the data, for example, if we are using any kind of wire like coaxial wire, it transmits the data, means the channel transmit the data in the form of signals. Whatever the carrier you are using, it transmit the data by using a signal. The signal can be of two type, digital and analog. It depends on the type of data. But at the physical end, at the physical layer, the data is transmitted into bits because bits can be easily converted into a signals. That is why at the end of physical layer, the data is in the form of bits. Now, here you can see the various OSI layers and their associated various protocols that deals with that particular layer and their activities. Like application layer, there are various protocols like Telnet, FTP, SMTP, HTTP, DNS, SMMP and so on. Why we are using these protocols? Because it allow access the network resources, whatever the resources like. If we are using a WhatsApp is an application through which a user can interact, right? So it allow the access of the network resources. That is why we use these protocols to interact with the application. Now another layer is presentation layer. The functioning or the responsibility activities of the presentation layer, it translate. If for example, if the data is in the form of or is in the language of some other like German or French, right? So what does the presentation layer do? It translate, means if the receiver can only understand the English language, so the sender's presentation layer converts that French document into the English document, and then it also performs the functions of encryption, right? If the data is confidential, then it needs to be encrypted, and if the data is very large, then there is a need to compress the data. So all the functionalities of the presentation layer is to translate the data into a specific format or into a specific doc, and then if the data is confidential, then there is a need to encrypt the data, and if the data is very large, then we need to compress the data so that the data can be easily travel over the channel. Next layer is the session layer. Basically, the work of session layer is to establish the or to start the session, right? For example, if we are talking about the time period, so the session layer indicates the time period. Like for example, if we are talking about a lecture is of 1 hour. If the lecture is of CN, then it starts at 11 and it ends at 12. So this is the session, means within the 1 hour, that is from 11 to 12, I have to deliver whatever I want to deliver. So this is what the session means, to establish the connection, and we need to manage it, and after delivering the complete data, we need to terminate the session. Means at 12, what I do, I need to conclude whatever I taught in the previous lecture, or whatever I taught in the same lecture, I need to conclude then, and after that I need to terminate the connection. Then the next layer is the transport layer, that use the important protocols for the transport layer is TCP and UDP. Basically, the TCP layer, TCP is a connection oriented protocol, whereas the UDP is a connectionless protocol. Means there is a confirmation. If you are using a transmission control protocol, there is a confirmation that the data is transmitting between the sender and the receiver. But if we are talking about UDP, that is a connectionless protocol, there is no guarantee whether the data is received by the receiver or not. So the function or the activity of transport layer is to provide reliable process to process delivery, or we need the same layer does the recovery of the errors. Then the next layer is the network layer, that uses various protocols like internet protocol, ARP, RARP, ICMP, IGMP and various other protocols. So what does the network layer do? Network layer moves the packet from the source to the destination by providing a internetworking address. Basically, it provides a address of all the devices, or the address between the device, between the source and the destination. Next layer is the data link layer, that uses basically the protocol is IEEE 802 standard format, PPF, and at the end of data link layer, if we are talking about address, then we are dealing with the physical address, whereas at the network layer we are dealing with the logical address. At the end of transport layer we are dealing with the port number or the port address, and then at the end of physical layer we are talking about various physical mediums, various physical devices that can transmit the bit over the medium to provide a mechanical and electrical specification. Now, the functionality of each layer, the physical layer, whenever the data is transmitted from the upper layer and it is received at the physical layer, that I already told you that data at the physical layer is in the forms of bits. You can see here. Now, these bits are transmitting using the transmission medium in the form of signals, and at the end of receiver it receives the signal and convert the signal into bits. So there are various conversion techniques that convert the analog signal to digital signal to analog due to the requirement of the receiver or the sender. So the main function of the physical layer is to move the data in the form of electromagnetic signal across the transmission medium. It is also responsible for every individual bit from one hop to the next hop. If during transmission, if there are multiple intermediate devices, then from sender to the intermediate devices, every bit has to be transmitted at the end of the receiver. This is the only responsibility of the physical layer, is to transmit every bit between the different intermediate devices. So the both data and the signal can be either analog and the digital. So the transmission medium that works by connecting energy along a physical path, which can be a wired or wireless. The physical medium, here you can see, is a physical medium, that is a wired medium. We can also use various wireless medium to transmit the data from the sender side to the receiver side. So the next layer is the data link layer, or we can say the host to host delivery layer. What does it do? Whenever the data receives from the network layer, it adds its header and adds the trailer and send it to the physical layer. So what are the functions of data link layer? It converts the packets received from the network layer into the frames. It converts the packets received from the network layer into the frames, and it also adds the physical address, the MAC address of that particular device, so that the sender and the receiver address can be easily recognized, that who is the sender and who is the receiver. It is also responsible for flow control. Flow control means like if the sender capacity to send the data is more than the receiver's capacity to receive the data, then there is a need to control the flow so that the data should be free from error or it is free from corruption, right? Next is the error control. Error control, there are various techniques for error control, like for detection we can use CRC, checksum, parity bit or 2D parity, and for the correction, detection as well as correction, we can use the Hamming code. There are various access control, means whenever the data is transmitting from the sender side to the receiver, the channel that the sender and the receiver is using for transmitting the data is need to be accessed by which device for the transmission. That responsibility is of data link layer to handle the access, means who is accessing the channel at that particular time. So for access control, we have studied about various protocols, that can be random access protocol, control access protocol, and channelization protocol, which I will cover in the coming lecture. Next layer is the network layer, that receives the data from the transport layer and adding its header and sends it to the data link layer. Then what does the functions of network layer? It adds the logical address, means IP address. It adds the IP address, which means it adds the address the IP address is can be of 32 or 64 bit. If we are using a 32 bit IP address, that is IPv4, then there are two types, two subparts of that IP address. That can be the network ID and the host ID. The network ID is unique ID of the network, and the host ID is used to uniquely identify that particular host in that network. So the basic responsibility of network layer is logical addressing, means assigning the IP address to each and every device, and routing. Routing is basically a process in which it is a function of router. Basically, network layer uses the device, that is the router, that routes the packet. Means it routes the packet from the sender to the receiver, so that the packet can be reached at the end of the receiver within the limited time, or with minimum distance it can reach up to the receiver. So this is the functionality of the network layer, right? Network layer is also responsible for basically it is also responsible for like packetization. Means whenever the data is received from the transport layer, it encapsulates it, it covers it into a packet to make it a packet and adds the logical address, right? So the another function of network layer is to add packetization, or to do packetization, means packing of the data into a fixed size, or it can be of variable size packets. Now the next layer is the transport layer. Transport layer is also known as the process to process delivery. Process to process delivery, because as we know, whenever for example, if we are using our phone, if I am the sender and I'm using my phone, then there are various applications that are running, right? So which application is used? For example, if I'm using a phone, I am the sender and I have open email as well as WhatsApp, as well as Telegram. So whenever the source or the client request for opening any page, so a port number is generated, right? A port number is generated for that page. So the transport layer works on that port number. Means if multiple processes are running on any machine, then every process that is running on the sender or the receiver side has a port number. That is why the transport layer uses a port number to uniquely identify which process wants to send data, or which process wants to communicate with the another process at the end of the receiver side. So the transport layer is responsible for delivering a message from one process to the another. It also adds few more things, that is, it is also responsible for service point addressing. Means it adds the port number. Means whenever the data is received from the session layer, it adds a header. In header, it adds the port number. Means the process that wants to communicate, it adds the number for that particular port. And the functionality of transport layer is also doing the segmentation, right? If we are talking about segmentation, means dividing the data. The data received from the session layer is divided into multiple segments. That is segmentation. And reassembling is done at the end of receiver. Means whenever the data is received by the transport layer at the end of receiver side, then the packets that is received from the network layer is again converted into a segments. This is what the reassembling is. Segmentation is dividing the numbers or assigning a number. Reassembling is combining those numbers. Means for example, if I have a document of 1000 pages, then we can make a segment of 250 pages, and pages 1 to 250 I can assign a sequence number 1. From pages 251 to 500 I can assign a sequence number 2. From pages 501 to 750, I can assign a sequence number 3. From pages 751 to 1000, I can assign a sequence number 4. So this is the way how the transport layer converts the data into multiple segments and assigning a sequence number, so that after if the receiver receives the data, after receiving the first segment, how the receiver identify the next, what are the next pages. So due to the help of sequence number, the receiver can identify that this is the sequence number or this is the another sequence number, means one after the another. The receiver can arrange the data one after the another by using the sequence number. This layer is also called as the connection control, as it is responsible for both type, means connection oriented or connectionless protocol. It is also responsible for flow control and congestion control. If the traffic is more over the channel, then this layer uses various protocols like leaky bucket, token bucket to control the congestion over the network. Now, the next layer is session layer, that receives the data from the presentation layer and sends it to the transport layer. Here the data is in the form of data only. It adds a dialog controller, means whether the data is whether the communication is from both the sides or from the one end, means half duplex or full duplex mode. Or it also synchronizes the point, means processing in line with the same page, so that the sending and receiving can be easy. Next layer is the presentation layer. Presentation layer is responsible and it receives the data from application layer, sends it to the session layer. It is responsible for translating, means converting it to a specific format. If there is a need of encryption, then at sender side the data needs to be encrypted, and at the end of receiver side the encrypted data needs to be decrypted using various encryption and decryption algorithm. And if the data is very large, then the data needs to be compressed so that it can be sent over the channel. And the last layer is the application layer, through which the human interact. For example, if we are using WhatsApp to transmit the data from the sender side to the receiver, then the WhatsApp app, when we click on the WhatsApp app, then it creates an interface. It provides an interface over which we can communicate with the other device. So the network virtual terminal, it is responsible for file transferring, accessing and management. It is also responsible for mail services as well as for the directory services. Thank you so much.